Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another episode of The Full View, man. We're here. We're locked in. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Tamo. Shout out to Firms. And shout out to Mr. Joe Blackman, man. This is your cast for today. Actually, you know what? Cams is a bit of a disgrace, you know. I'm not going to lie because I believe he should be here. I forgot about that. He should be here. He was saying to Owen, yeah, I'm good for Sunday. Yep, all good. This, that, and the third. He's not here, so yeah, give him some stick when you lot come across him and drop some hate on his page. Not hate, that's a bit strong. Not hate, just advice that he should have showed up. But big up to each and every single one of you, man. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to United View if you haven't done so already. Shout out to Joe Fleming with the first super chat of the night straight away. He says, "What is the difference between the Full View and the red carpet, please? Can somebody enlighten me? Because I actually don't know anymore." Joe, different show, different people, different name. That's it. We still, I mean, it's like saying, you know, oh, what do you talk about on? Like, we'd still talk about Man United. There's just different shows to do it on with different people on. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. It's that simple, Joe. So I'm glad I've enlightened you that some shows have different names and different people on. But of course, we will still discuss that thing called Manchester United. That probably won't change on this channel. That is a Manchester United channel. So big up to you, Joe. Hope that sets the record straight for you. Court says, had an amazing birthday yesterday at the Unity Cup final. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but we took over that stadium, Jamaica to the world. Joe, you was there, innit?
Nigel. Bro, when I tell when I tell you, it didn't matter that we lost, innit? We lose in style. All I can say is that no matter what happened, everybody had a good time.
Nigel,
you know, every Nigerian was partying with us after, bro.
Jamaica always bring the vibe. Jamaica always bring the vibe.
You man was partying with us. Don't make me upload the KG video right now, bro. Yes, you man was partying with us. Yeah, remember that. Remember that.
Yeah? Afrobeats, bro.
Dance all over Afrobeats, dance out to the world.
Every time.
No way, bro.
Even you have to admit it. Bro. Anyway, let's not even get into that
secondary, bro.
No, that is true. That is true. And the Afrobeats artists have mad love for dancehall because that's where Afrobeats kind of get it popular.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from. Let's not play. Let's not play.
On, bro.
That's where it comes from.
Okay.
Bro, let's not.
Bro, there was no Afro. Bro, Afrobeats
Beats
never existed before I was a grown man. So let's
tell Bob Marley to holler at fella cutie.
Okay. Time out. Because this is getting. We can't do this. We can't. No, we're not going there. No. Stop the thing now, guys. Because this is. We will go somewhere where Man United will go straight to the back, and we won't stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get some harder. Yeah, let's get some harder. Because we'll just go on.
Especially since Bradley probably couldn't relate.
Bradley's going, I don't know what. Listen,
Bradley's thinking raw rice and peas or jollof. What are we getting here?
Bradley's saying, I come here to slag off Ganacho, mate. I don't know what you like. When we get into
he's got one agenda, you know, Bradley.
Let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it. We've made our first signing, people. Matheus Cunha is through the door. Before the window has even opened, we've announced him. First of all, let's just go around the room, really, because that we're going to be talking about. I'm also going to be talking about who next, what next, who should we get next, what's the priorities, etc. What do we expect to see from here, especially earlier in the week. We obviously lost out on Liam Delap. Some people think that's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. Some people are indifferent, etc., etc. Bradley, what you saying? Matheus Cunha through the door, signed, sealed, delivered.
I think it's a fantastic signing. Just him. I think it's a great signing and a great start. But it's only the start. We need so much more for us to have a good season next season. So let's see what we do next.
With him, where does he just slot straight in left 10? Or do you see something else? Because I was saying to Owen today on our reveal video, I was like, have we allowed ourselves, because it's hard, have we allowed ourselves to think outside of this box? Could we allow ourselves to think of a universe whereby maybe we don't have the money for that top striker we want? Maybe we couldn't get Mateta because he didn't want to leave. And then we find ourselves like with an Mbumo, with a Cunha, and, you know, all of a sudden Joshua Zirkzee is this kind of glue for a season with those two, with Bruno.
That's what I like.
A little bit.
I
do you know what I mean?
I think that would be top draw.
Yeah.
I hear you. Tamo, what are you saying?
So, first thing first, I'll say, it is so refreshing to see us actually make a signing early. Ever so often, it is just this, it's in the news. It's Man United is tracking this player. So let's just celebrate, at least in being fair to the board. They did extremely well to carry a quality signing in without any fuss, any haggling over price. We understood the price. We knew what we wanted to pay. We paid it and we got it over the line. I think it's a very good signing, but I think it doesn't deviate from the fact that we still need a striker. I think more so, and maybe that's a good thing, Ahmad playing, if this coach sticks with this formation, Ahmad will not play 10. He will play a wing-back role. And so Cunha actually comes into the 10 and will still be out there for a striker. So that's my thought on it. I would say to you also, just on the Cunha piece, I don't mind if Bruno leaving. I just want to make that clear, because I see Xerxes not so much as a striker, as more as a 10. If, again, the coach sticks with this, because trust me, guys, and I said this to you in an interview when I was in the UK, Xerxes is a top baller, but he needs the right profile of footballers around him. Don't be misled, guys. I'm telling you this.
You see it in him, yeah. You see him as like, he can be, we got a good player.
Yeah, but it has to be with the right profile of players to see him. Put it this way, remember Berbatov. He's that kind of player. Don't expect him to look like this pacey, kind of powerful forward doing that thing. But his link up, he's actually one of the best technical players. And I'm including Bruno. In our team, he doesn't lose the ball that much. And his first touch, which is the most important as a footballer, is the best in the team. Period.
I'll go as far to say he's probably one of the best in the league that I've seen.
Yeah.
His link up.
His touch is
very
just
look
at him. Look at him on Ireland when a ball comes to him under pressure, not under pressure. His first touch, his second touch, he's playing in the space. Impeccable, I'm telling you guys. But he needed time to adjust, because the Italian league is one of the slowest leagues, to be honest. And so he has to adjust to this pace of the team. And he's a smart guy. Look at how he plays. So I know you asked me about that, but I had to bring the context of why I'm saying.
Some people are saying no. In the comments, some of them are saying, listen, put respect on Berbatov's name. He scored more goals.
Exactly.
Xerxes, Berbatov, that's a sin bin, says Chris. He's not having that comparison.
No.
Are you trying to? Do you need to clarify for? Sometimes, listen, chat gets tight. So you're saying he's better than Berbatov, or
no. So this is where people tend to just take things out of context. His profile of playing, of how he plays, is not an explosive runner, and that is comparison to how Berbatov is. Berbatov is a touch player, which simply means he plays well in the spaces in terms of he's take 1-2 touches and he can get past a defender. Xerxes has the same profile. I can't compare Xerxes to Berbatov in terms of achievement. He has done nothing yet, but the profile of the player is the same. Just the profile. Guys, come off your high horse.
Context there. Yeah, listen, I'm with Tamo in terms of, look, because when you mention someone as great as Berbatov next to this guy who struggled, your immediate thing is, what are you talking? He's talking about just specifically the profile. Sometimes you can watch a player and they could be miles off said player, but you go, who does that player remind you of? You go, kind of like a little Berbatov thing, you know? Like
Exactly.
Obviously, I'm not saying he's as good. Of course he's not. Of course, you know what I mean? Like Grandpa said. So Xerxes is better than Zidane. No. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying in terms of, like, you know, he would do most of his work, you know, not running around like a blue-ass fly. He'd do most of his work by linking up with other players. And he is a player that 100%, he's going to need other top players, like Bradley's saying, players on his wavelength, players who take the ball properly, players who are intelligent. I do hear that. Joe, what are you saying on Cunha through the door, man? You know, reports that he might want the number 10 shirt as well. I think that's something that could be happening. Do we need to be careful we don't overgas, or is he the real deal for you? Is this the exact type of signing we need?
I mean, it's the exact type of signing that the manager needs. That's all I'm going to say about that, to be fair. He needs somebody ready-made for the Premier League. He doesn't need somebody that's an experiment. He doesn't need somebody that's unproven. He needs something that's going to work right now, right here, because he ain't got any time. So that's all I'm going to say. Look.
Wait, Joe, wait.
Is it overpriced?
Joe, wait.
What? God? What?
Like, it's just, again, I feel like there was a bit of just an undertone, just like Ruben still.
The undertone. Okay, listen. What is this undertone that you're sensing? Because all I'm trying to say is the facts. This manager doesn't have any time left, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
And even the staunchest backer of Amorim would say that he's run out of time. And the fact of the matter is, they've set him up for failure, because if he puts 1 foot wrong next season, it's a madness. So we need something to work right now, right here, soon as the season starts. He can't put 1 foot wrong. 2, if he loses the first 2 games, oh my God, what would the fan base be like?
What would Joe be like? No, what would Joe be like though if he lost the first one?
What would I be like? First 2 games, I'm gonna be like, it's getting sticky for him. That's what's
Well, just to let you know, Joe, the community have spoken many times. They want positivity. They don't really want this whole.
I don't care what they want.
He's staying, bro. Like, he can't. He's here, bro.
Look, listen, just because he's staying doesn't mean I can't say what I feel. Yeah,
absolutely.
If you want to be positive, you can be positive. I'm just gonna be realistic. I'm not gonna be positive or negative. I don't think I'm being negative. I'm just saying this man has no time, so he needs the.
Well, Asim says you're just gaslighting. Right, he hasn't run out of time. Asim, why do you think he hasn't run out of time? First of all, let me know in the chat. Okay. And Joe, why has he run out of time?
No, but who on this panel right here? Everybody is giving him bare time. Who's giving him bare time?
Is it about us giving him loads of time, or is it about Ineos? Because we can not give him. We could all sit on this panel and say he's got no time, but Ineos have decided that they're going to back him, give him money, and he's going to be their guy.
Listen, I'm telling you this right now. This is what I'm going to be like with Amorim next season. Sorry, because we've not started yet. He's got till the end of the season. I don't want to see some halfway thing. I don't want to see some halfway thing where they decide to get rid of my man. No, you can shake your finger all you want, bro. Let me finish this sentence, because you know what? This is foolishness now. This is absolute foolishness. That we can't keep doing this halfway thing, breaking the season, get another manager, F up the season, forget about the season, got a free hit. No more free hits. Nobody here is going to get a free hit, bro. Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now. Give Amorim till the end of the season, no matter what, whether it be 15th, 16th, 17th, give him to the end of the season. Because you know what? There's no point in bringing anybody else in, because you're about to buy a set of players to play his formation, his style. And
17th, we're gone, bro. Championship.
So Joe, the only thing I can't say, my brother, and you know, when you started out, I was with you, you know, in terms of even people saying positivity. I was with you on the realistic. So if you're being realistic, dude, if we're getting relegated, he got to go. I'm sorry. If we see that we're heading down a road of no return, and we can't simply say give him a free hit this season. I'm with you that if he brings stability, it doesn't have to be doing fantastic. But I'm not with this. If we're going down with a sinking ship, we all stay on it like the Titanic. I'm sorry. No.
Bradley, do you agree with what Joe's saying?
Why was you on this? Why was you? Oh, no, but hold on. Why was everybody on this Titanic this season, though? Everybody was happy to be on the Titanic this season.
Not me and Bradley.
This season was a Titanic, bro.
Me and Bradley was looking for a lifeboat. Me and Bradley been looking for a lifeboat. Me and Bradley been looking for a lifeboat.
Bradley got the dinghy.
For a lifeboat. What are you talking about, Joe?
Bradley was the guy at the gate. Bradley was the guy at the gate when they're trying to get the key, and it drops him.
He was signaling.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Joe, I'm not gonna lie. You said that to the two wrong man, bro, because these men have been on Amorim's neck, bro.
On him.
Do you know what, Bradley?
Come on, Joe.
Bradley.
Come on, Joe. Not me and Bradley.
Well, you know what? Then you know what? My bad. You know what, Bradley? Bradley, tell them why. Tell them why we shouldn't be fully committed to this guy next season. Go and tell us.
Bradley's not gonna tell you that.
Right, well, I actually don't think. I think even from like looking at the bigger picture, whether he's had 6 months or not, I think because it's been that bad and it's such a specific formation of 3-4-3. I want Man United to buy for the club, but I feel like because we're going to play 3-4-3, we're going to have Ahmad at wing back, we're going to end up being in a situation where we end up buying players for 3-4-3. And I think it's too big of a risk to go and buy these players, and then in December we end up getting a new manager. And unless Ineos going down a route where they want to build the image as a three at the back, and then you hire managers that play a similar formation, I think it's too big of a risk. But he's staying anyway, so I think we may as well try and hope that we do something next season, because there's no point trying to be negative on it. I don't think it's going to work out. That's my gut feeling, but I hope I'm wrong.
Firms, what are you saying on all this? Before I say what I'm thinking as well, what are you saying, man?
Look, I think like first of all, I think the players that we're signing is not specific for a specific formation as of yet. Like I feel like Cunha is versatile. He can do the false nine thing. He can play out wide on the left. Like he can do that. And Bremu, who we're linked with, he can play out wide as well. He's a right winger, but he can also tuck in and do that number 10 role. Like I think Amorim just wants strong, pacey guys that are playing in that number 10 position that can drift out wide and act as a winger. So I'm not concerned at the minute. And I don't feel like Dorgu as well is going to be a major issue going left back. I just don't think like he's not that attacking. He's not that, way inclined. So for me, all of the signings we've made, I think is still adaptable for another coach coming in. And I feel that they're probably specifically doing that for a reason as well. So I'm happy in that sense. Amorim, whether he needs more time or not, look, at the end of the day, if you get this system and formation right, it can be lethal. We've seen managers do great things with this formation and this system. The problem is he's got guys that can't do this system. So it's very difficult for me to judge this guy. Now, we're talking about a manager that should be doing better than he should be doing right now. There's no reason why we should be talking about a manager finishing 15th, 16th, or whatever next season, because for me, I believe there's a hard rule. Like, regardless of these players not being your players, there is a certain stopgap where it's just like you can't trigger it. You can't trigger below a certain level. Like, it just can't happen. You have to be able to do both simultaneously. Do you understand? Like, we're not talking about like, no disrespect, but we're not like a little club. We still got quality players. You still should be able to finish like 8th or 9th at least, while still doing your thing, not mingling and flirting with relegation. So when I hear things like 16th, 17th, bro, you've got to go, because there is managers that can implement their style and system, even if the players ain't ready for it, and still not be mingling with relegation. That's too deep. And I think the standards are dropping way too low when we start talking like that. You get me? So for me, man, I do want Amorim to stay only because, not because of what he's done, it's because I'm in a fairy tale of what is something different, completely different. And I'm in a fairy tale of, if he does get it right, what could we look like? Because if you implement this right, it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So I'm just living off that hope, man.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
So it's hope and pray then. It's hope and pray then.
You know why it's hope and pray?
Let's just be right.
We've been here with other man. Like, people are like, oh, we should bring in a manager. At least he would finish 8th. I don't care for 8th. You understand? I don't care for 8th. Like, I'd rather Man United finish 15th or 16th if it's going towards Man United having long-term success. I don't care for 8th. I don't care for Manchester United lifting the Europa League tomorrow for us to go back to doing this. Like, we've been here. We've done it. We've worn the T-shirt. So for me, I'm more interested in the future vision than all of this stuff that we're talking about.
Let me get these super chats out real quick. We'll carry on the conversation. English Talent FC, he's on one today. He says, overpaying again and 200k. LOL. No structure at United. Talking about the Cunha deal. I disagree. I don't think we're overpaying. I don't think that's about right. Of course he's gonna demand that.
Have you seen what we've paid for Dorgu? Have you seen what we paid for all these other players we brought in? Bro, look at the deals that we've been bringing in. You're talking about Cunha.
Aminor says, Flex, where is your energy for players leaving the club? Sky high, bro. 100%. We got to sell goods. We have to be on it. I've said many times when they were flipping food from the canteen and cutting jobs and cutting this, I said I hope they're going to be as creative in the summer with making people leave. Get creative then. Try and get these guys out the door. So the energy's there, Aminor, for sure. And he says, if Andrew's going to get sacked, then what about Amorim? Well, what about Amorim? He's not going to get sacked, bro. Like, I think we can't be stuck on that. Listen, obviously, like Joe says, everyone's got their opinion on it. But I know Bradley has said as well, like, listen, he's got his opinions that he probably thought he should have got sacked, etc. But he's going to stay. So it's about looking forward at what does that look like. And
the most important thing is recruitment now.
It's recruitment. And that's what I'm saying. I think we can talk about Amorim to the cows come home, and I think Firms has said it perfectly there, which is what I was going to go on to. I think even we're too fixated on 3-4-3. Now, I know it's easy to do that because obviously the manager's playing that and we've been shit. But the bigger way to fix the problems, you're right, guys, is not to buy players for a 3-4-3. What does that even? No, just buy good players. Just buy good players. We've seen it at so many different clubs that they change manager and they can get an upturn. They've changed manager and they can get a reaction. Why? Because what that manager's left with is something decent to work with. And what we've seen from these guys who we've bought that, didn't work under Ten Hag, even though we bought them. Then it was Ollie. He bought guys, didn't work for him, this, that, and the third. And we're left with players that we can't sell. Why? Other players look at them, other teams look at them and say, they're not that good. I just think focus on, and I think Firms said it right there. You look at some of the players we are buying or are linked with, and they are adaptable. It don't matter if Amorim got sacked tomorrow. Lenny Yoro can play in a 3 or can play in a back 4. So can Matheus de Ligt. So can Harry Maguire. It's not saying that he's the future. I'm just saying. Dorgu, left wing back when he was at what's the club he come from again? Not
was it
what's that team he come from again?
At Lyon? No, not Lyon.
No, in Italy.
Italian league. It's in the Italian league.
Oh, I forgot the name of the team.
It's fine.
Someone will put it in the chat. When he was there, he's playing Lecce. Yeah, Lecce. Yeah. He's playing right wing, left wing back, right. He's versatile. Cunha can play a few different positions. Brian Mbeumo, look at if you go and check his stats of where he's played in his career, man's played second striker, number 9 on the right, 10. Do you know what I mean? False 9. He has. Mm-hmm. So the players were linked to it. And then if you go and get a proper striker, let's be real, a proper bagsman. I know we was trying to get Delap and stuff, but if we played a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2, Delap would be fine.
Do we need an out-and-out number 9, though?
Well, this is the other thing, but why I said we think outside the box with actually what we've got. We might not be able to afford, Gyökeres, Osimhen, all them things. We know that's very, very difficult. But like you said, you could have Cunha up there, and then you could have Mbeumo and Bruno just behind. You could have.
Oh, imagine if you had Xerxes, Mbeumo, and Cunha.
That's what I'm saying. That's not going to be horrible, is it? It's not going to be horrible.
Yeah, but I do agree with you though, Flex. As I've said a few weeks ago, and I said it in the group chat. Look, guys, we must get out of this thing of buying players.
I'm not saying that.
Players. Yeah, buying players for coaches. We should buy players for that can. Players. Yeah, no, absolutely. And,
just simplifying it. Just buy good players. So if you tell a man, listen, bro, I need a slightly different role. Like Mbeumo's good. I have no doubt if you say to him, I know you've been playing right wing for ages. I just need you on the inside 10. I need you to do this, and this. He go, no problem, boss. I got it. I'm quick. I'm powerful. I know when to pass. I know when to shoot. I've got a good shot. I'm direct. I work hard. Whatever you need. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see that as too much of a problem. So Ice Trey saying no specialists, just versatile players well cooked. I'm not saying that. Of course, in specific positions, you have to have specialist attributes. I'm more about the specialist attributes. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're a central midfielder, it doesn't matter if you play in this 2-man 8 thing or the box or the this or the that. If you're a wicked central midfielder, you can pass the ball forward. You can run when we ain't got it. You can score. You can assist. You can tackle. You're just a good midfielder, bro. Do you see what I'm saying?
To put it simple, though, I don't think what you're saying is wrong. I mean, coaches come and change formation all the time. Right? It's not necessarily a jack of all trade. You're just simply saying that a player that is adaptable to different formations in their specific role. So simply put, if you're a wing back, you right wing back, the coaches may ask you to play different things. I don't think if you play 4-3-3 or, for example, if you play 3-4-3, it just may deviate a little bit in what the coach is asking you to do, but it doesn't necessarily change the fact that you're a wing back. It's fine. So I don't think it's
and we've been suffering like last season because things are just really, really, really like switching slightly topic. Like we've been suffering really in terms of defense and really bad in attack. Both ends have just been really bad. And in my mind, I'm picturing what would it be like if we did get Cunha, who in a Wolves team that finished, where did they finish this season? 16th or where? I don't even know where they finished.
I think we finished just above them in the end.
Yeah. And Cunha scored 15 goals, right? the season before that, Wolves finished, I don't know, maybe like 14th. Cunha got like 12 goals in the league, right? If you're looking at that, just taking that as an example, right? You've got players like Kudus, like I may have mentioned, that's got 7 GA or whatever. But the previous season, his GA blew everyone out the park. Well, most players out the park because West Ham had a really good season. You've got Cunha, who's having and contributing and being consistent, regardless of whether Wolves has a bad season or not. And this is something that Manchester United need, because when we look at the past and when Manchester United was doing better and how our gradual descent, Man United's had good players. Like, we abuse them as the fan base. Oh, Pogba can't do this. He's not good in the central midfield. Oh, this guy can't do that. But the reality is, there were star quality players at the time that was better than what we've got now. Now we're dealing with Garnacho, who may have potential, but he's not delivering the output that you need. Now we're dealing with Rasmus Højlund. He's got potential, potentially, but is not delivering the output that you need. And then you had Ahmad outside of that, who was injured most of the season. We ain't got the output there. And that's our issue. Manchester United, yeah, outside of Everton, what was it they said? Outside of Everton and the relegation teams, we scored the least goals. That is bonkers. You think about how that sounds, bro. The least goals, relegated teams, Everton, and then us. It's mad.
It's mad. Let me get these super chats out, and there's been a little bit of an update, well, quite a significant update from Ben Jacobs as well, actually. So we need to talk Bruno now, actually, if I'm going to be honest with you lot. English Talent says, here we go again, unlocking Xerxes Part 2. English Talent FC says, Amorim clearly doesn't like Xerxes. Stop fantasizing about flops and move on. There's a special window before this is why we signed on the 1st of June. And Cemex Football says, how many signings does he need for us to blame him instead of Ineos? For me, they have to sign him at least 5, and one of them has to be a striker and a goalkeeper. Dwayne says, the players we're interested in are versatile athletes. That's what we've been needing for years. Chalaboy Comic says, 1 goal a week. Is it realistic to demand a top 6 finish with one game a week. With 1 game a week, is it realistic to demand a top 6 finish? Physical demands are usually a huge difference maker in elite footy. I need Ruben to deliver this. I hear that. And Seth Rollins says, is this true? Man United got 125 million money budget this summer. Well, they've already spent 62.5 million, was trying to spend 30 odd million on Liam Delap, so it's probably not going to be far off that. But right, let's just bring you the latest on what Ben Jacobs has just tweeted in the last few minutes, guys. It's an interesting development surrounding Bruno Fernandes, who we were obviously going to talk about later on in the show, but needs must. Ben Jacobs was obviously on the channel a couple of days ago. When was this? Friday. Or was it Saturday? I can't remember now. Friday? I can't remember. But he gave us an update then. He now has gone 1 step further. He's saying, Al Hilal now believe an agreement with Bruno Fernandes is close after a week of positive meetings. Fernandes is currently deliberating with his family. A key factor in whether Fernandes agrees will be if the move is also right for his family. It will be more than just a football decision. Hilal want the final answer by Friday, which he already told us. No formal approach or bid yet to Manchester United, which again, we knew that. But Hilal's belief is a sale will be sanctioned if Fernandes asks to leave. Man United still insist they don't want to sell their captain, which again, none of that's changed. The key takeaway from this is the first paragraph. Al Hilal now believe an agreement with Bruno Fernandes is close after a week of positive meetings. That is significant. That bit there is a significant part. We know that Man United don't want to sell. We know that no bid has arrived. But again, if you've seen that video done with Ben Jacobs, all that will change if Bruno Fernandes says yes. It's that simple. If Bruno Fernandes doesn't say yes, Man United will never have anything to think about because Al Hilal won't bid. So, but now
he said yes. I promise you, he said yes.
You're saying that he's saying yes. What we saying about this then?
He said
what
yes.
we saying
Right.
about this?
First of all, that's perfect that you just did that before I said what I had to say, actually, because you're talking about Cunha, and then Firms was saying that, adding this to the team is going to do this and this. But guess what? We're not adding. As this news just confirmed, we're swapping. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So we're going to lose the GA of Bruno Fernandes and gain the GA of Matheus Cunha. Yeah?
Yeah.
No,
I hear you. I hear you. You can't.
And here's the thing. One thing one of the delegates have been saying very adamantly this season, Cunha is our marquee signing. Someone's been said Cunha is our marquee signing, so everybody else is going to be lesser than him. Yeah, think about that, and I can see that.
Even if we got Brian and Boomer,
that's my
same
thing.
level.
You can't just replace
That's
one
same
on one.
level. That's kind of the same level.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of the same level.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what was you really
was Cunha.
expecting to get higher, to get more than that, to get the position that we're in?
I'm not joking with you though, Flex. I want one of the victors. How much times have I said it to you? I want one of the victors, bro. I need a victor. Give me Victor Osimhen. Give me Victor Gyökeres. The fight ain't over. Go fight for them. I don't care how much money it takes. Sometimes I don't. They're already not sticking to their hierarchy of their wage bill, their wage structure. They've already putting people on two grand a week. Yeah, 200 grand a week. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't want to hear wage structure rubbish. If I got to get a good striker for 3 years on a 300 grand contract, so what? Isn't that what Bruno was on? The guy's proven. The guy's proven.
Yeah. So
if
what
the
we
person
saying
is
here,
proven, they're proven.
I hear that, Joe. But the bit that we have to consider, and I'm 100% hear you on how good Bruno is. I listen. I'm on that, right? But do we need to talk about what that means for this team in terms of rebuilding it? Because also what we do know is Al Hilal are willing to, as an opening bid, we're talking 100 million euros, 80 million pounds. And I asked Ben Jacobs, how high are they willing to go? And he said that would just be the first bid. And Richard Romano even said they're willing to pay whatever it takes. Tamo, come through, bro.
So first thing, I am not against losing Bruno. And I think it should be fine if we lose Bruno. As a matter of fact, there's a part of me, there's a 60% of me that would say I'd want Bruno to leave. And there's a simple logic of it. And I say this with good intention, because I actually think he has literally been our best players for quite a few years. And his records have proven it, right? But there's just something about Bruno that I think we would be better off. One, less dependency. I heard somebody saying he has this main character syndrome sometimes. And maybe I need him just not to be the focal point all the time of the team in terms of, and just bear with me for a little bit, he loses the ball too much. That's common knowledge, right? I think it would be better link-up play, even in this coach's formation. And this is me who wanted this coach out, trying to support him. That Bruno is a little bit more erratic and does not necessarily suit this kind of formation. He worked well with Ole because literally he will take those risks and have the players to pull it off with. As it was Greenwood, Rashford, Marshall in the heydays.
You don't think he fits this? I think he's proved. I think he's proved it don't matter what the system, what the manager, his numbers are still the same.
No.
I don't think we can say that this worst thing. He's the one who's been the one constant. I don't think you can say that from this season. You can go. He's proved that I don't care what's going on around me. I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who's acting
that's
up.
A fair point,
My thing's gonna be there.
I can't dispute what you guys are saying, and I'm not even here to object to it, because his numbers speak for itself, which is why I said to you, right? And I remember I said this as a precursor to whatever I was going to say. I said to you, I have no problem with Bruno in that regard. I'm simply saying, for how I see this coach, and I'm just talking about him per se, right? I'm just simply saying that he loses the ball a lot in the final third. This is just all I'm saying. But if Bruno was to stay, I have no qualms. No issue. I'm not one of those that say, let Bruno go, we need the money. No. I'm just giving a different perspective to it. That's all.
I hear that. Bradley.
ATS Travels. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, read it.
Sorry, ATS Travels says in this chat there, supporting the manager by getting rid of the key player he wants to keep. Brilliant thought process. Think about that, though. We all know that's his number one player. Who's his number one player?
Every coach says that about player, Joe. Every coach says that about players. He could have a different.
No. Let's not pretend, bro. Come on now.
So Joe, remember this.
Who's his two favorite players? Who's his two favorite players? No, just answer my question, bro. Who's his two favorite players?
Joe.
I'll remember in a minute. Who's his two favorite players, fam?
No,
I know Bruno.
I know Bruno is his favorite. One of his.
So why in the world would he want to get rid of him for next season? For his crunch season?
I don't want to get rid of him.
Can I show you something from a different perspective, my brother? Just you're seeing the here and now. And listen again, Joe Blackman, because I don't want this to stand out as though Tomo is saying, get rid of Bruno. Bruno stays, I'm happy. I'm a big fan of Bruno. I'm simply giving you, Flex, you said, not just look on it for what it is, right? At the start of the show. I'm giving a different perspective. All I'm simply saying to you is this. If Bruno goes, the money that comes with Bruno, right, could get a profile of player that is a little bit more disciplined in that area of the field. Just a perspective. Bruno is not the only player that can create and can get goals. I'll give you this. In the final, if I'm not mistaken, in the middle of the park, Bruno trying something unnecessary. He lost the ball. That's what led to the goal. I can tell you several instances of Bruno doing that. No, I don't want that to be the point. I'm saying this coach builds this thing on stability, players who just do the rudimentary things until he gets forward. If you look at Sporting, that's how it works. Now, the flip side to you, Joe Blackman, is that you're absolutely right. If he stays, let us see if it works. All I'm saying is I could see it happening and I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep if we replace him properly. That's all.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think the reason why people are saying Man United could have been relegated, yeah, if we didn't have Bruno, is because there was just nobody else in the team of that level of quality that can pick it up. Do you understand? I don't think we'll be having this conversation if Man United decided to sell Bruno, but had Cunha and Mbeumo sorted the midfield, maybe got a Belieber, Edison, you know what I mean, changed the goalkeeper. There was too many things in the team, and you only had one dependent, which was Bruno. Now, I'm not saying that Man United's going to go on to thrive and do crazy things, but the reason why people are so much saying Bruno Fernandes, you remove him out, is because he was that pivotal and no one else you can look to. The only other person you're looking to, the next person there, was Garnacho. He was the next person in terms of GA, not in terms of performances, what people, just in terms of GA. That was the next person.
Joe Blackman, here's what I'm going to say to you. Here's what I want us to think of as Manchester United players. If our only saving grace is Bruno, if we're just looking on Bruno and saying that we can only be good with Bruno, then we have a problem. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have. Look at this.
No.
Hear my thought on it. Mbappe
pointing
left
the wrong way, by the way.
Huh? Mbappe left.
Sorry, I'm telling first. But go on. But bro, I'm not saying to keep Bruno, you know. Whoa. Before you go any further, though, I want to sell Bruno Fernandes. I'm just telling people that we're not gaining.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, I want to sell him.
The way you was talking was like,
that at the beginning.
No. What do you mean?
It's because Firm said, okay, I'll tell you why. It's because Firm said,
don't try it, bro.
Cunha. Bro, it's because Firm said that we was going to be gaining Cunha. Yeah, and we're going to be adding this, but we're not adding. I said we're swapping. That's exactly what I said.
Okay. The way you said it was like we shouldn't be.
Okay.
No, listen, we need to get rid of him, but I'm just not. But you see, the thing that no, ATS travel also. Look. Let's think about this, bro. Yeah, the manager doesn't want to get rid of him.
No, he doesn't.
It's manager crunch. It's the manager crunch season next season. Yeah. And I also want you to think about, you see those times that you're talking about Bruno having these terrible games, when he's not passing it and he's having these bad passes. Think about the team around him at that time as well, bro. They're all having, look at the finals. Everybody, look at Maguire. It was only passing it sideways. Luke Shaw passing it right back to him, And then Casemiro was having a madness, having to come back deep to defend. Bro, in those games, he does that thing where he goes, I've got to do something. He always is that person who goes, I've got to do something. He doesn't start shouting up. He might cuss a little bit. He might whine, but then he goes, I'm going to do something. That petulance in him comes out and he goes, I've got to show them that. That's why he's got the captain arm badge, because he leads by example, not really by shouting and mouthing. He just whines a little bit in it, But the thing is, bro, when you're in a team that's performing that badly and then he's still getting something out of that game, that means that can't be replicated in a team like this. And for the manager to lose that, it's going to be crazy.
1 second, because I need to hear Bradley's thoughts. This Bradley ain't coming for a hot minute. Interject, Bradley. Come through, because I know you got some thoughts on this Bruno thing. What were you saying?
I wouldn't gone. So I think this is fantastic news. This is fantastic news for me.
Oh shit!
'Cause
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Bruno's agent cutting him off, man. Bruno.
Bradley.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
There's
I'm joking.
no
I'm joking.
mistaking with Bradley.
Welcome back, Bradley.
Nah, I'm only joking, Brad. Just the
Bruno's
way you
agent
keep your
cut you
show.
off, man. Go again.
It's the way. Do you know
Go
what it
again.
is? It's because Bradley's got the proper man. He's like, I want him gone. So it's great. It's just the way he just drops it. It's so ruthless.
Clean.
But
Yeah.
Bradley, let's go. We don't censor. I was only joking, people. I'm only putting it in. Bradley, what are you saying?
Well, this for me, I've actually wanted him gone for 4 years. Like,
4
if I'm
years?
just being
No. It's 4 years. It's 4 years. It's 4 years.
This is criminal.
Nah,
This
nah.
is criminal.
Hey,
man.
we
This
need
is
to get
criminal.
red cards
This
and yellow
is
cards up
criminal.
in the
4
thing.
years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what, Flex? But you know what, though? In fairness,
explain,
and
let
I'm
me
glad
I'm
that
honest,
explain.
we're
though. I'm honest. Flex, how long have I been doing this with you? 3 years? You know my opinion for 3 years, and it's been a year before we've met, so it's been 4 years. I think
Bradley. He's consistent. He has always said this. I know he's not just.
Yeah,
I
So you
can.
just never
Bradley,
liked him.
it's your
I
time
can
to
vouch
shine,
for
man.
that.
so.
Getting rid of Bruno.
I said on the last
4
interview,
years.
I'm fair. Like me and Flex have a different opinion, but in isolated moments, we've usually agreed. So I've actually said Bruno's been the player of the season. I'm not going to deny that because I've not got an agenda. The best for Man United, but in my opinion, the first 6 months of the season, he was very, very poor for me, and I think a lot of people would have agreed with that at the time as well. And do you remember when Ahmad got injured? People said the season's done because no one stepped up. He's done fantastically well in the last 4 months to step up, and the end of last season, 2 months. And he always steps up at the end of the season, but in that Europa League final, he was really, really poor. He gave the ball away 26 times. That was the most out of any player on the pitch.
Whole team.
So
Whole team was
I think 100 million for him would be fantastic. And I think also if we get in Bumo, we get Cunha, and you get a striker, his goals are replaced because we don't score a lot of goals anyway, even with him in the team. And then I think with if you sell Garnacho, you sell Rashford, you sell Sancho, you sell Anthony on top of that, then I think you can bring in 2 central midfield players that are a bit more disciplined, keep the ball well, and then we can become a better team. Like look at PSG with Mbappe. Mbappe's a top player, but they were so reliant on that one player.
And that's
And
my point.
it was just a
I think
mess.
we
So
need
if
to be
Mbappe,
careful. I agree with the principle, but I do think this easy thing to do now because of what's happened with PSG winning that, and in the season after Mbappe, the easy thing to do is to draw the playing comparison. In principle, I agree with you, Brad, but in reality, they also spent loads. They just changed their whole direction as a football club. This is more
that's what
than
we
just.
need to do.
No, absolutely. I'm not. That's by the type of players we get, the recruitment, buying good players. The thing about just one Bruno and just the one Mbappe, they've been getting it wrong for years in terms of they had a whole Galactico lineup. They had the Harlem Globe, they had Messi, Neymar, they've had Lavezzi, they've had Cavani, they've had Zlatan. They've gone through like a whole process where PSG were like the richest, so they went, we're just going to splash that. They just changed their policy to go, we're going to go young, current. So I'm not saying that it's completely no contest with like the Bruno thing, relying on one guy and then they relying on Mbappe. I get that, but I just think we have to be careful because they still had a lot of other good players as well and a lot of other good stuff. Like the base level of where we are of getting rid of Bruno versus the base level of where they are getting rid of Mbappe, I think is a massive gap. Like we're way worse than that. Where Mbappe only left last season. So a lot of that squad was up and coming, but a lot of it was kind of still there. But I take your point. My thing with the Bruno thing is, I agree. Someone said it there actually. Let me try and get that back. Basically, the fact that Bruno's 31, right, and we have to look at the situation of the club. And it's not about player FC and this, that, and the other. I'm not wedded to just one player. I've learnt my lessons. I love Bruno Fernandes. I always stick up for him because I'm like, it don't matter what the weather. It don't matter what time of year it is. It don't matter this, that, and the other. When it's all said and done, you have patches of bad form. You're right, Bradley. I remember the first game at home against Fulham. Couldn't hit a barn door. And the first batch of games, he was really, really struggling. But what he always does, but what he always does is when it's all said and done, he's fixed it. Somehow, it doesn't matter. The numbers will be there, and he will be in terms of his own consistency.
Yeah, I mean for the team though. For the team,
but the team's shit. The whole if you took him
out
of the team, this team would have got relegated this year. Yeah, but he is. But the context of the season is if you took Bruno Fernandes out of this team, it'd be even worse.
Yeah,
and he's getting the same. Right, but that's what I'm saying. But he's getting the same numbers as the same when we were second as when we were 16th. 15th.
Not in the league.
Bruno Fernandes,
you see Bruno, see my thing about Bruno, and this is why when you deep it and you look into the context, right, he does get crazy numbers. But when we talk about the league, right, so his first season when he came, 2020, right, he got 18 goals. He blitzed it. He did that Rashford 30 goals.
Well, that was in half a season as well.
Half a season. And then since then, it was like 10 goals or 8 goals and 10. He's never passed like 10 goals since then in the Premier League. But his output in other competitions booster up his stats, and it just looks crazy. Man United's going to be in a position now where we're just going to be playing in the Premier League. And I think if there's any time to do it, it's probably now, because we're not going to need Bruno's output in other cup competitions that are really... I don't think we're going to need it as much if we spend that money right and get your Cunha and get your Mbeumo. Look, if you split the GA between them, like if you get your Cunha, he gets you about 10 GA. Mbeumo gets you another 10 GA, 20 GA. You get another forward, he gets you another 10 GA. All of a sudden, you've got 30 GA split all across the team. And we've got a bit more stability and less reliance on one guy. I think that
I don't mind that. I don't think we can afford. We can't afford to turn down. If he says yes, first of all, well, you got to let him go. There's no discussion. If the captain of the club comes and knocks the price,
why are we waiting as well? Here's the thing. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting though?
Here's my thought.
We should be saying get out.
Here's my thought. No. I think that's a little bit rude. Yeah, but
bro.
Here's what I'm saying though. So Joe, here's what I'm saying. In the context of everything, by the way, the chat is on fire today, making some real valid point. Big up the guys in the chat, man. But what I'm saying is the holistic thing, and I think we're all aligned on it now, where we have 100 million. It is the rebuild that could happen from it. I don't think anybody is disrespecting Bruno. The man has produced, right? But there are some things that we can look at to say, if we got in the right profile players, the right set of players, it could be one of the best business ventures ever. And that's all my piece on it. There's no disrespect to Bruno. Yeah? But I would prefer, as I said, and I'm sticking by it, 60-40. 60% of me wants him out for the money and what we could do with it. So I definitely would. But if he doesn't go, it's not the end of the world to me. But I'm with Bradley. I'm with everyone.
It is. No, and that's why I'm in disagreement. Now it is the end of the world because you're not going to get this offer again. This is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, if he says it's the end of the world, you're like, we have to take this now.
We have to. That's what I'm saying about why are we waiting.
We can't afford to turn it down.
Why are we waiting for him to say yes for? What should you say to him? Listen, Bruno, come talk to me. Come in my office, bro. No, I'm not going to push you.
But you know why though, Joe? You know why? Because
you have to understand where I come from. No, but you have to understand where I come from. Listen, brethren.
Nah, it's because he's good. It's because the manager does like him, like you said. He does all, and he's very good. So they're like, if we buy around him, we can still use Bruno. But I hear you.
No. You have to think about this. Where's the money coming from to buy around Bruno, though? If we don't sell Bruno.
Exactly. That's the issue. And you know what makes this deal more appealing? What makes the deal more appealing is that the Saudis are saying we need the decision by literally a couple of days.
Yeah, Friday.
It's so important when we get that money. There's no point selling Bruno and then we're in a position where all of our targets are gone. Like, and Mbeumo, literally, if we take too long, Newcastle swoops in, he's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the targets that we're looking at potentially could be gone. So the fact that they're saying, you know what, here's money, straight cash, take your 100 million, take your 120, whatever it is, straight cash in the bank. Boom. Right now, it allows us to operate in a market and have that advantage of a lot of teams that are probably scouring for players. So that's another edge to it. That is the timeliness of it and getting all of that money at once.
Let me get these super chats out. Like Tamo said, the chat's going off. And the super chats are going off. Everything's going off, to be honest with you. Right. Joe says, Joe Fleming says to Joe Blackman, not trying to hear any Joe Blackman, not trying to hear any positivity anywhere. If we get a goalkeeper, centre back, right back, central midfielder, striker, and 2 other attackers, are you good then, Joe? That's
the whole team. We ain't getting that. We are not getting that.
All right, calm down. All right. Connor says, guys, if Bruno wants to go, then he goes. End of 100%. This is like Joe saying, why are we allowing it to happen? But this is all on Bruno. This is his decision. And it's one that Man United definitely aren't going to fight against if he says yes. I'll tell you that for free. Dwayne says, I love Bruno. He's the only one with cojones, but get as much as we can and sell all the rest too. Also, what top striker will want to come after seeing the guy with the most chances leave? You're trying to sell the project to new players and you're selling your best player, but that's part of the recruitment team. Algon says, Mbappe left PSG. What happened? We lost Ronaldo and better players than Bruno. And thank you for the contribution as well. Appreciate that. And Asham says, even if we get 100 million, would you expect Ineos? Would you expect Ineos with that? Would you trust them? Would you expect them to do it? Yeah, we would have to. Algernon says, if the rebuild fails, we still have a 32-year-old Bruno on 320 grand per week that no one will buy. Hence why I think you're saying he has to go now. Dwayne says, if the club openly pushes him out, it will add to the toxic culture in that squad and staff. That's why they've told him it's his decision. And Tommy Boy says, it's not the end of the world. Manchester United have lost far bigger and better players in the past. And Akut says, who's your starting 3 centre-backs when all fit? We'll get to that. But we're just on the Bruno situation. I think the biggest thing to compare this to, actually, Brad, you sparked something in my head there, is not actually the Mbappe situation, you know. I think you liken this to when Liverpool sold Coutinho. Yeah, I think you liken it more to that, which that funded Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. It funded something bigger. It funded something greater. I remember at the time when Coutinho was leaving, I was like, whoa, how are they going to let him go?
Could actually be easy, you know. This rebuild should be easy as Ineos knew. If Ineos know what to do, this is such an easy rebuild. It's unbelievable because you've got Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno. You get 40 mil for Rashford, you get 40 mil for Garnacho, and 100 million for Bruno.
We need to get more than 40 mil for Garnacho as well, by the way. We need to get more.
I want Believer.
We're going to get more than that. I think this has
Believer.
been handled terribly by Garnacho. He's a rat, and I don't like the club. I don't like that it's been leaked what Ruben Amorim said because it just devalues him as a player.
I mean, yeah, Brad's. I mean,
he's a rat.
Yeah, I mean, Brad's. You just strong fit. So for you, like Garnacho, yeah, obviously he needs to leave. Then
we're not getting any more than 40 million.
Yeah. But
we need to be trying.
Can I add something to this though? And in all of this, and I'm not. I am criticizing the manager a little bit. You know, I have already said that we already stuck with him, but I'm saying that I hope he has learned something from this season because no matter the players that go in, I think there's something about him that I'm still not sold on. And it is his ability to adapt and make changes, even his in-game management. And I really hope, and guys...
That's fair from what we've seen. No one can argue with that and what we've seen.
Yeah, so because it doesn't matter the players that we get. Sticking hard and fast to a formation is not a sign of a great manager. Every single manager adapts to their situation, whether it is players available, the team that they're playing, and we will get to a point where we're so good where we can constantly keep our formations. And it's not always guaranteed, but that little piece of it that says, as much as we're discussing players here, if he stays with that rigid mentality, I'm telling you now, not being negative, I'm telling you guys, we're going to suffer next season because one thing with the Premier League, they adapt to coaches, they will figure you out, similar as they did to Pep, and they will steamroll you and take advantage of you. Because we have the best coaches in this league as well. And I'm saying it again, take it as Tom, and I'll put my neck on the block. If it doesn't change, we are going to suffer again, irrespective of the player.
I don't know, you know. I feel like we will suffer, but I feel like people's passion and vim is because we've been so bad. Like Manchester United's tactical ability has never been that great. Like I don't think people deep it since Mourinho. Since
But
LVG,
let's-
anyone that's coming, Man United has not played.
No, Firms.
a
He's
brand
the
of
coach
football.
now,
I'm looking
Firms.
at it like
Firms.
thinking, wow, this
He's
is
the
amazing.
coach now. He's the coach now. I don't want to hear
He's
about
the
the
coach.
past.
He's the coach now. But what I'm
Hold
trying to
him
say is, yeah,
accountable.
the reason why people are talking so hard now is because the level of the standard of the player that we've got in this team. I know what you're talking about. The coach ain't helping. I know that for a fact. The coach ain't helping. Say the coach couldn't coach, and we had the same Amorim going into the next season. Yeah, if you give him a better quality of players, even with his similar coaching, Man United just finish higher up the league.
No.
We do. I promise you.
Look at
Because
that Europa League final. Look at the Europa League final. We
you know
kept
the difference
5
between Tottenham
defenders
and us,
on.
yeah? The difference between Tottenham and us is they scored 20 plus more. They scored 20 more goals than, as crap as they are, they scored 20 more
What
goals
did their forward
than
do
us
in the league? Hold on. What did their forward do in the game?
Goals, we got 44.
No. What did their
The ball was
forward do?
coming from them.
Whoever played forward for him, forward for Tottenham, right? In the entire game, did absolutely nothing for Tottenham.
It don't matter. If you're looking at a team, yeah, honestly speaking, I know everyone's saying, oh, it's Tottenham. Put that to the side. They battered us 3 times already. If you're talking about a team that's most likely to score, you're looking at their front line, as crap as they've been, and you're looking at ours, they're more likely to score.
So hold on, Firms and Flex. Let me ask you guys this. Hold on. What do we expect from the coach this season? Maybe I should ask that question to everybody. What do we expect from the coach this season?
You see, for me, I want Manchester United, yeah, to just, first of all, I can't see what he's trying to do unless he gets what he feels like he needs.
Want, Firms? What do you want?
For me, I just want us to play. I want us to play a bit. I want to see our fullbacks, for example, our right wing backs, doing what they should be doing. I want to see if when I look left and look right and look at the other teams that play 5 at the back, it's not 5 at the back. It's 3 at the back with 2 high wing backs, automatic, almost like wingers. Man United, I'm looking at us, I'm thinking, why is
right? So
like,
is Munoz and Kufel better than Ahmad?
Is who?
Is Munoz at Palace and Kufel, who plays for West Ham, are they better than Ahmad Diallo?
They're not.
So why is Ahmad Diallo playing so good?
Munoz at right wing back, yeah, he is, because he's right wing. He is that. That's what he is. You have to say he's better than Ahmad in that position.
Our best potential right wing back is not being used as a right wing back. When you put him as a right wing back, Ahmad.
So who picks the team? Manager?
It's Amorim. This is my issue. So for me, I want to see the system being just implemented properly. And I don't know if it's the reason why he didn't play Ahmad at right wing back is because he needed more attacking creativity up top. So therefore, he's sacrificing the right wing back position for putting him there.
Score more goals in attacking the wing back.
The low is at least being consistent. I don't know what it is, but I just want to see guys.
Also, even going back to that Europa League final, we made our first substitution in the 70th minute. And we kept 5 defenders on for 97 minutes. We keep 5 defenders on every single game. Surely your system is not built on keeping 5 defenders on the pitch.
But don't that come down to
Let me tell you what I want from the manager. Let me tell you what I want from the manager, Flex and Firms. I want to see the team play better, and I want to see us win. That's the job of a manager. I don't care what y'all want to say. I want to see the team play better, and I want to see Manchester United win. And he must be judged on that. End of story.
Of course.
That's my
concern. Of course. For me,
I'm not going to make excuses for him come the end of the season. He's the manager now. I don't care about Ole. I don't care about Van Gaal. I don't care about Moyes. He's the manager now. And at the end of the season,
he's got to be accountable. He's got to be accountable. 100%.
He has to be. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. For me, the beginning of this season, when we even had Eric, I was arguing with KG in light of what you're saying there, Tamo. I was arguing with KG from what day this season, saying, do not underestimate what no trophy, but like finishing comfortable in the top 4 could mean for us this year. I was on that. And the reason why I was on that was because back-to-back trophies, and I'd been outside Wembley after that FA Cup saying Eric has to stay and give him another chance and thing. And listen, I hold my hands up. I got that wrong. But I've been there at seeing the cups mask. Basically, we've won the 2 cups at the expense of being a good football team. You know what I mean? That's the truth of it. And for me, if we would have won, well, we ended up going trophyless and finishing 15th. I didn't see that happening. But my point at the start of the season in like game week 2 was like, listen, if you offered me like getting into the top into the top 3 because we're becoming a better team, we're scoring goals, we're not open like anything, getting counter attacked. And remember all them times in the season before last when flipping we were getting sworn a new one by Burnley at home and Fulham and people running back towards their own goal. Casemiro left on an island. That was the season where flipping, Casemiro was told by Carragher, leave the football before it leaves you and all these things, which I'm not saying that Casemiro is the future, but the reason why he looks so bad, we were just open as anything.
Yeah,
so I was saying,
that's
what I'm saying. So I'm not just saying like Ten Hag was right, but that's not my point is that the progression of the team, like what Tam was saying, I want to see us visibly look better. If Man United, and hear me out on this one, please hear me out. I'm not trying to lower the standards. I'm being realistic. If you look at the Premier League top 6, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, they're very good teams. They're very good teams that are going to get better. So just saying gate crash that immediately, is difficult to do. It's difficult to do, but we should aim for that. But if Man United finish,
perfect example is Brighton. The perfect example is Brighton.
That's what
Brighton
I'm saying.
Plays
good football. They finished 8th, right? They finished 8th.
They don't have the caliber of players, but
Correct.
they finished. They play good. You see
play
what
good
they're
football.
doing, and that's all
what
I'm
saying.
asking.
If Man United finished just outside the top 6 by a couple of points, but I saw visible, we are getting better. We are getting better. We are scoring goals. We need to tweak this. We need to tweak that. I need to see big improvement with the team. Of course, asking for us to go.
And that's what Bradley was saying. That's Bradley's point.
Yeah?
Bradley's saying we aren't seeing anything from Amorim in over 6
Can I make this point?
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible that he can't do it though. I don't think that. Stranger, Nuno finished 17th with Forest last year.
Yeah,
17th.
I don't want to compare him to that.
Manchester United, look, I'm telling you this from now. Manchester United, right? We could have easily finished 10th, 9th if we had the team like your Pogba's, Lukaku's. You know what we had in the past, like all of these star players. We don't have that. Manchester United has not played the. I didn't hear this vim, this level of vim when Manchester United were finishing 2nd, finishing 3rd, but playing trash football. Manchester United has not been playing good football. We have been paving over the cracks with trophy wins and all of that and finishing 20 points behind first or finishing 3rd and crap football. We've been getting very lucky. Should have been getting knocked out of cups earlier. Luck saved us. I didn't hear this vim. Manchester United is now in a position where a new coach has come now and he's saying, I'm playing in a totally different way. You remember all the managers that's come to Manchester United, your Ralph Ragnicks and all of these managers, they've tried to do something different outside of your sitting back and counter-attack since Sir Alex Ferguson left. These players are very comfortable in a transitional counter-attacking style football. Anything out of that, you try and do gang press, they try and do anything else, they can't adapt. Right now, Manchester United has got a group of players. It's not that they ain't quality. They are quality if you play the formation that suits them. They're not adaptable. You bring in any manager now that's trying to adapt and change things, they can't do it. Amorim's come in, Eric Ten Hag done it, and they can't adapt. So now Amorim's come in now, and we've now seen, wait, he's changed it all up. And these men are terrible. Like, if you've got quality players, they are adapting it. If you've got 6 other Brunos in this team, they're adapting, and they're not finishing where we finish in the season, regardless of tactics. You can bring in another team, remove the coaching team, and remove the manager, and they don't get trained for 2 months. You put them against Man United this season, and they're getting change out of us. You understand? It's not about this manager and the coaching. It's about these players, and we're having the same cycle over and over and over again. The managers are all doing it. It's not a coincidence. Another manager can go to a team and get change out of them. Manchester United, we're talking about the same thing. Our quality of football's crap, but we're just scumbagging it. Why? Because it's Moments FC. We have the money to bring in that quality, i.e. what we're trying to do now with Cunha, and get a moment. We've got the money to get a moment, and that moment is saving us. Look, the reason why I'm not saying Amorim out is because what he's trying to do is something different in the sense where he's saying, you know what? I'm removing the comfortability. I'm removing the comfortability, I'm removing and you guys have got to get adaptable. If you can't get adaptable, I'm bringing in guys that are going to be adaptable. I can't be doing this. I'm hiding behind this transitional counter-attacking football. That's what everyone will be happy with. If Man United won Europa League now, half of the fan base will be like, oh, we had a better season than Arsenal, blah, 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 blah. And it will be another season of that crap. Like, forget all that. Forget it. Let's move forward.
So firms, who's saying Amorim out? Who's saying Amorim out?
Bro,
who's saying Amorim out?
Saying Amorim out, bro. Half of the you know what I'm hearing today? Everyone is saying, half of the fan base is saying it. I'm hearing people.
You two want him out?
Yeah. You're hearing man saying,
hold on. So
look at our level of ambition.
Hold on.
Man United is still keeping coming in my fault.
Flex, who in the group said that, look, before anybody said, look, guys, we're with Amorim now because he's going to be our manager. There's no way that we're going to get another manager. We stick with him. What I'm saying, firms, is a simple thing. Is what my expectations are of him this season. Is it wrong to expect that I want to see a clear system, good football, and I want us to get results? That's my expectation.
That's what as
fans of hold on, firms. This is not about Amorim out. I am saying to you, that must be the minimum expectation. I didn't tell you about top 4. I didn't tell you about trophies. I am realistic in our position on where we are now. But I still have to hold them accountable, firm, in terms of what we see going forward. Is that fair, firms?
100%.
Is that a fair ask?
And I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm trying to say is people don't realize. So the expectation of, okay, I don't know what a good season looks like for you, fam. I don't know what a good season looks like.
I said play good football and we get results and we continue to progress.
We can play good football and still finish 11th in the league. Do you understand?
I didn't put a position on it. I didn't put a position on it.
It's gonna come down to it.
We have eyes and we can see what.
I'm sorry. No, wait a second. Sorry. I've been quiet for so long, right? And you, man, I swear. Like,
I'm in, bro. Because at the end of the show, what, bro?
Yeah, I know. I have to. Like, you, man, are talking rubbish. Yeah, there's no way that position doesn't matter. I'm sorry. There is no way on earth.
It matters.
No, especially because of this season, everything hinges on where he finishes next season, bro. Come halfway through next season, you're gonna hear the fan base start, bro. If he's not in a certain position by even Christmas, this fan base,
facts.
November. Hold on. I'll tell you what. Give it 10 games. 10 games into the season. I know there's a 10-game brigade already. On the Records delegation, people are already talking about the 10-game thing. I'm giving him 10 games. And then I want to see if he's in 13th, I want him out. Bro, people are already sick of him. When people said who's Amorim, when you said who said Amorim out, what did you see in the chat? I saw hands going up. I saw bare people say Amorim out already. So if you think this fan base, there's people that's on the fence like me, you might as well say I'm on the fence, which I hate the fence. Fence is somewhere I do not like to be. I'm just giving this guy time. And I swear to God,
I agree with you, Joe.
I can easily fall off the fence. I know what I'm like. Yeah. I don't like being on the fence, bro. Yeah. So he better prove something real.
I don't want to have any more time. I've got no choice.
That's what I'm like you. I'm like you, Bradley. Do you know the funny thing is, yeah, I don't trust him. Here's my stance on everything, guys. Everybody keeps asking me if I'm Amorim out. I just don't trust him. I know he's our manager. Yeah, I want him to do well, but he's not shown me anything. And the same thing that everybody told me to do last season is see what's in the proof. The proof is in the pudding in front of your face, Joe. Why are you not saying manager out? I'm like, why are you guys not saying manager out then? Now it's the same thing that I saw last season. I just admit it. It's hope and pray. It's hope and pray and thoughts and hopes and dreams that you guys are telling me to believe in. And if that's the case, just tell me, and I'll believe in it. Innit? I'll give the man time.
The thing is, the position actually does matter. The position actually does matter because you know what? Next season, I don't want to hear Ruben Amorim come out and say we've not had enough training sessions. I don't want to hear that at all. I don't want to hear it because guess what?
You can't say that.
Because the thing is,
1 game a week.
Do you know what? He can't read the room. This manager, he can't read the room. He's come to one of the biggest clubs in the world. Man United go far in cup competitions. That's a fact. So Of course, you're going to have less training time than a Bournemouth or a Wolves, but next season, you're in a position now where you're going to have a lot of training sessions. So I'm expecting something.
But I think the
that
context
wasn't
of
the
what he
excuse
said
for
was
him this year,
I think
Bradley.
but I think the context of how he meant it was, if I'm playing devil's advocate, the context of how Ruben meant that was, I've come mid-season and obviously there's loads going on, so there's no preseason, so I don't have time to work on things because a lot of it is recovery, 3 days recovery. So I need the preseason. He doesn't expect Man United to make sure they're not in competition so we can get a free week. He's not naive. Like Ruben Amorim, what I will say is that he knows football. He knows big clubs, because other times when he speaks about this club, let's not act like he hasn't been very scathing on himself. He said this is the worst team there's ever been. Sometimes he's too honest. He says that's my down thing. I'm probably too honest, and says mad stuff where we're like, oh, bloody hell. One of the saving graces is that I think he sees what we see. He knows we're shit. He's even said, if we look like this, there's people losing their jobs. If we look like this next year, I'm gone. Unless they give this to another position. He says it as it is. I got no problem with that. And I think the context of that was, again, he's come in the mid-season where Man United are in all the competitions.
No, but he said it after like 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we were still in competitions. What he means is get to the summer where I can assess things, get rid of players, do that. Even Thierry Henry on Big CBS the other day, when he was cussing Arteta, he goes, everyone knows, this is Thierry Henry's words, you know. He was just saying, look, 2 to 3 years to get your shit in order, work out who you don't want, work out who you do want, who can play your style, who can't play your style, this, that, and the third, and get your feet on the table. Of course, finishing 15th is not in the script. You can lose your job for that shit. And if Amorim would have got sacked, he would have got sacked. But the only thing that is saving Amorim are 2 things. One, he's come in mid-season and hasn't had a chance to buy his own players, which is a big risk now he's finished so low. And 2, even if Ineos wanted to pull the plug this early, can't fucking afford it.
Like, what I mean is now he's going to get more training sessions. So there's no excuses.
So we should see it. Yeah, you're right. We should see an improvement.
And also going back to who we sell, if we sell Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford, Onana, Bruno, we're bringing in 250
million. We're not doing that.
We
are not doing that.
It's not EAFC. We don't. It's easy to say it because Rashford. There's talks of Rashford might be on another loan.
Bro,
there's talks
of that. I'm talking about now.
Let's be real. We have to understand where this club is. We don't sell for high prices. We never have.
Which is why Bruno's so important.
Yeah.
And what we need to realize.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like, though.
We've removed the star quality that we've had in this team over the years. It's gone, and that was what was carrying us. That was what was saving us, even though we played a poor brand of football. But when you look at that and remove that, we have got the weakest, the less athletic team, the most, we're just terrible. Garnacho ain't beating anyone man for man, shoulder for shoulder. Rasmus Højlund, when he goes up against any defender, you already know who's winning that battle. Mateta, you know when that ball comes to him, boom, he's holding it up, he's giving 2 centre-backs trouble. We ain't got that nowhere. You understand? Then you're looking at Amad Diallo, they double up on him, and he's out the game. We ain't got the physical, the athletes. When you look at every team around you, just look at them. Look at their midfielders. Look at their fullbacks. Look at their everywhere. It's athletes. Man United players will run for 20 minutes and done. You see that pressing game that we saw with PSG against Inter Milan? Bro, if you are never getting that from these
do you not think we sell those players?
Bro, we are not getting that. What I'm trying to tell you is this. We removed the star quality players from Manchester United. It's all gone. All we got is Bruno. That's saving us.
Do you not think we sell all these players? Do you not think we sell about 5 or 6?
That's Man United. That's what I'm saying. Man United, it's been a horror show. When we did have the quality players, we're berating them. They finally get moved on and we get weaker over the years. Now, I'm not saying we should have sold them. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? We should have kept them. Whatever's happened has happened. But I know that the level of quality of players that we had then versus what we had now in hindsight, you look at it and say,
it's even worse now. I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It's worse.
Yeah, it's even worse.
These same players were the ones that were saving us, keeping us up that higher position. Man United, if you remove the star quality, you need the baseline. The minimum you got to be doing.
Here's what I want to ask you guys.
One second. Let me get these super chats out, and then Tama will let you finish off. There's quite a lot here. Let me just go back to where it was. Looking on 30 Bruno. No one will buy it. There you go. Dwayne. If the club openly pushes him out, okay, I read that one already. I remember that. And Tommy Boy, yeah, 3 centre-backs will fit. There you go. Imran says anyone who says we lost better players in the past are kind of dumb. Just what we were saying. We did, but context. So wait. So you're saying they're kind of dumb, but saying we did. But context is we lost those players when we are at our worst, top 3 in the league. And ATS Travel says everyone talking about Mbappe leaving PSG and totally ignoring he left on a free and the squad PSG had already built before the season is insane. That's what I mean. There's a bit of a different context with that. Jason says Flex, the difference is Liverpool still had a decent team. They only needed a couple of players to get them over the line. We need like 7 or 8 players. And Dwayne says we had a very adaptable manager. Now we have a rigid manager willing to die on the hill. We don't know what we want, performances or results. And Ginger Bish says us fans don't know what we want. I back Amorim 100%. Dwayne says pro footballers should be able to play for a homeless man if he was the coach. The game is gone from play for your club and manager to playing for yourself. And GJE says not having preseason is a bad excuse to finish 15th. Agreed. Dwayne says good football doesn't win you shit. Results do. Multiple teams play good football and still finish bottom 10. Quality is needed no matter of the style. Right, Tamo, finished. Yeah, you coming through the last point. We'll wrap up the show, bro.
Yeah, all I'm simply saying is this, guys. There's a part of it that maybe we have been getting the manager's appointment wrong. We've gone through close to 50, over 50, not close to, over 50, probably over 50 players since Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm not checking, so if somebody can fact check it for me, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
and maybe maybe we should also take this part that maybe the club has gotten the manager's appointment wrong. I thought we fired LVG a little too soon, right? Because he had a plan. He wanted. I'm not saying he was but maybe we fired him a little too soon. So in essence, why I want to say to you guys is this: whether you like it or not, the club, unless you're playing in German league, the manager makes a difference, and we have seen that all too often across different teams. And what I'm saying, and I'm agreeing with Joe on this one, this is probably my first and biggest agreement, is that I'm not
first and last.
I am not going to trust this guy wholeheartedly until he gives me something to trust. I'm sorry, firms. So what
even he says it. Even Ruben says it. I have nothing for you guys to believe in me.
All I'm saying is firms. I'm not out. I'm saying I want to see something tangible. I'll let you guys say your piece.
Amorim could have done that if he went and played a system that we used to. 4-2-3-1. Man United, we won't be having this discussion. That's all I'm saying. We won't be having this discussion if he played 4-2-3-1. That's my thing. We won't be having this discussion. The managers.
I think one of the problems we've had is that we've not been recruiting from within in the Premier League. I think that's one of the biggest problems we've had.
Our players
since Alex is gone.
They're just not.
You're on mute, Joe.
I don't think that matters at all. I don't think that matters.
I think it matters.
How many players come into this league and just tear it up, bro? That's
I'm
crazy.
saying we need 5 for the Premier League.
What do you mean, the manager or the players?
Players,
bro. That doesn't matter.
Doing now.
Yes, that's why I like it. I like the fact that we're being linked with Bumo, and we've already bought Cunha, because I think if you actually look at a lot of Sir Alex Ferguson's signings, they came from the Premier League. Just look at them.
Ji-Sung, yeah.
Obviously not all of them. Obviously not all of them.
Carlos Tevez.
Yeah, Berbatov. You saw him at yes. I get what you're saying, yeah. But at the same time, bro, look how many players come to other teams from other leagues and just start tearing it up. It's not all about.
I know, but our expectations are way higher than most clubs.
Do you know what?
And so that settling in period, you don't get that at Man United. So we need players that can hit the ground running. So if you're Premier League proven,
but that's
they're already acclimatized to the league, there's less risk of them not adjusting.
Manchester United, right? We don't have a baseline core level of a standard. We go out and try and spend 80 million on a star boy, which has been working to save us. But then when you're looking at it, you're like, that was a shit season, but we grabbed a silverware, we grabbed this. What we're doing now in terms of saying, 50 million here, 40 million here, this, that, before you start sprinkling the 80 millions, 90 millions, is what we need. This expectation and the pressure of a manager to go out and get a star man to save us, to get us in Champions League. Man United ain't ready for consistent Champions League. Let's be real. We ain't ready for it.
We're nowhere near it. We ain't got the squad.
Every time we look at our B team, our bench, we're just puking. Yeah. We're puking, bro.
And this is what this rebuild looks like. Hopefully, do you know what I mean? Look, the Bruno situation, that's been the biggest thing this evening. I think we all agree that if that money arrives at the table, how can we? How can we have a CEO, minority owner, saying that we're running out of bread and croissants and that, and 2025 money I got done, but then you're turning down 110, 20 million for a one player? You can't. Doesn't make. We're all idiots. I'll be honest. As much as I love Bruno, want to stay. If we lap that up, we'll lap anything up. Which one is it? You know what I mean? We also didn't win the Europa League to get 100 million. Where's the footfall for that? Sell Bruno. That's what we would have got from that. So listen, I don't think we're in a position to be able to turn it down, which actually is the bigger problem at Man United. What has happened to our football club, whereby we are technically being held to ransom? Not ransom, because a lot of money, to be fair, and it's actually a good deal for someone his age, to be fair. Actually, it's not held to ransom. I'll take that back. But we're not in a position strong enough as Man United to be like, nah, he's our best player. We're good. We're building around that because we've got some big plans next year. We're like, Jesus Lord, take that. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think the message behind it's not great. Even though I've got my different opinions, and I've wanted him to be sold for a while. I do understand the message and the reasoning behind it.
And it shows how good he is. I know it's Saudi paying it, but this is a guy who's get him out of our club. He's net negative. He's this, he's that. He's 31 and he's about to go for 100 plus, mate. So, you know what I mean? Everyone who was cussing him, also, you have to realize, what would he get? This is what he'd get. You know what I mean? It's that simple. We're going to wrap up, Joe.
One last thing.
Yeah,
last thing. I know that Sir, what's his name? Radcliffe, Jim Radcliffe is going to be licking his lips at this, because every time I think of this offer, do you know what I think of? That interview when he goes, we currently have no player worth over 100 million in our squad. That's every time I hear this, bro. He's like, yes, we do. Yes, we always did. Yeah, and you know what? Just take the money in it. Yeah, we have to sell Bruno. It's not going to be a fit. Everybody here is going to regret it if we do not. And look, whether they spend it well or not, at the end of the day, at least we'd be moving on. No one can say that the rebuild hasn't been rebuilding then if Bruno goes. Where we go with it is another story.
And from all of this, the bottom line is Ben Jacobs, he's well versed in this. He's saying it's Bruno the one at the moment. This is that Man United aren't even trying to push. Man United are calm, because if they don't sell him, don't get me wrong, they've got to be creative, and it means we might not be able to go and buy this, that, and the third. Like Joe was saying, why is it even Bruno's thing? But that is the truth. Man United are like, if we don't sell him, we don't. If he comes to us and says he's accepted, then great. So this is Bruno talking with his family, working out whether this works for him or not. He said many times, it's not about the money, it's not about this. But when 170 grand, 700 grand is put in front of you a week.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
Can I say one more thing? Eric Ten Hag, I've got a message for you at Bayer Leverkusen. Please buy Rasmus Højlund. Please buy Anthony. Please buy Garnacho, and please buy Anana. And overpay, because you love to overpay at our club and destroy our club. So please do it at Bayer Leverkusen. Thank you very much.
That wasn't him overpaying.
Oh, Joe, now's not the time. The Ten Hag Defense League is over, bro. You don't need to defend him.
I'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
There you go. Guys, smash the like on the video. Big shout out to Tamo. Big shout out to Bradley. Big shout out to Firms and Joe Blackman. Make sure you're following them on all the socials and getting in contact with these guys, man. The Full View is building each and every week. It's packed, it's rammed, and we're talking about the big things. Extended show for you guys, because you lot were here rocking with us and just stayed interested. So we couldn't even do an hour. We had to go past that with that Bruno news. So there'll be more on that in the morning, I'm sure, as things develop overnight, as these things tend to. So big up to each and every single one of you. Last super chat of the day from Dwayne. He says, it's in Bruno's hands. Mi Capitano, we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him. There you go. Shout out to everyone, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Take care. Peace.